When you think about pioneers of NASCAR, there's plenty of names to go along. Bruton Smith, the France family, Robert Yates, Jack Roush, and many, many more. But who is going to carry the torch moving forward and be that connection from the past to the future? Let's talk about it here on Stuck in the Catch Fence. Welcome, everyone. Hopefully, you're having a wonderful day. My name is Ryan Peters, and this is the series Let's Talk About It. I wanted to talk about something after watching this weekend, the Xfinity race, and just really overall thinking about what it is this sport has had and who it has right now and for the future moving forward to advance it both in popularity and in interest. So, over the weekend, I'm watching a driver that I've never heard before. It was a big secret whenever he was going to be revealed to race for junior racing. And it just made me start thinking. Somebody that just completely off the map for me. And, there's a lot of people guessing. Was it Carl Edwards? Is it going to be Dale Jr. himself? And no, it was actually Bubba Pollard. Bubba Pollard, racing on short concrete ovals and things of that nature, making a living doing smaller NASCAR grassroots series. And I was just sitting there going, only one guy has really made the investment, the time, the energy, the risk involved, both financially and reputationally, doing these things. And it is Dale Jr. We talk about the France family and their ownership in NASCAR and building speedways, and then Bruton Smith and what the Smith family has done, and all these other type of things. Yates with his engines, Roush with his ownership, all these different pioneers for the sport that made it what it is today, the Petties, so on and so forth. And I've been thinking about this for a while and why the past is so tied in to NASCAR. It's such a family sport. And we're getting further and further away from those families. What we knew back in the golden ages of NASCAR is really becoming no longer anymore. The last thing we have tied to the golden era when it comes to someone on track is Chase Elliott with his father, Bill. So what is going to be the thing that advances it? Is it going to be watching on the internet? Is it going to be able to stream? Is it going to be able to see TikTok videos of highlights? I don't think those things hurt by any means. But when it comes to the ambassador leading this charge, it is Dale Jr. Dale Earnhardt Jr. for a driver that I did not like, mainly because I thought his how do I put this? I thought it was counterfeit for the fan base that he had to receive that, not based upon his merits, but based upon his last name. Now, does that make it right? No, probably not. It's silly, but so is being a fan more often than not. It's a silly venture to emotionally invest in something that really you have no control over outside of being entertained. But Dale Jr., as much as I did not like him, and being a Kyle Busch fan didn't really help that either, I just continuously have this admiration for Dale Jr. I mean, I'm sitting there watching Bubba Pollard, a guy I've never heard of before, and I'm just sitting there going, man, what stones it takes to just pull up a guy that's never been in an Xfinity car, never had a green flag pit stop in his entire life, and Dale goes, yeah, we'll put him on a short track, and we'll see how he does. And he ends up impressing. Somebody like Josh Berry, who worked their entire life, gives him a chance, and now he's running in the Cup Series. All these different things, and it's not just past, it's also the future. Think about what Dale Jr. continues to do for this sport. He has the Dale Jr. download, which is a great way to just view what Dale Jr. is. Dale Jr. himself. The thing about Dale is when you listen to him, he knows of his last name. It's something that he greatly respects, but also just seems like another guy. And that type of humility for somebody that literally at one time could ask and get whatever he wanted in the NASCAR and the sports landscape. He seems like the most genuine guy. He brings on new shows. He brings a driver like Denny Hamlin, who most people boo. One of my favorite things to do every single week after the race is listen to the Denny Hamlin Actions Detrimental. I thought I'd never be entertained by Denny Hamlin. I can't stop listening to it. Door Bumper Clear, giving a perspective of the sport from people from literally only thing they do is watch the sport to give perspective of what's happening on the track to feed that information to the driver. A perspective we don't get in other sports. He's done things to revive the past. We talked about the grassroots getting the driver, but what about the grassroots bringing back tracks? He's one of the people that led the North Wilkesboro renovation and all those different things. He's still looking for speedways to renovate and bring back to life. And it's not just the past. It's not just the present with the drivers. It's the future. He's the guy that gets behind iRacing, is an ambassador for it, endorses it, said this is the way for the future. This is how we connect the young generation, get them into motorsports. And now look at someone like William Byron, who if he didn't have that medium, we probably would never know and not see that talent the way we do on Sundays. Dale Jr. has done so much more than just being a driver. He had expectations that he could never live up to. Being the son of Dale Earnhardt Sr. Having the tragic death of Dale Sr. to where not only did he have to figure out how to race on this sport alone, but really take the entire populace that was Dale Sr. fans. That's a monumental task that nobody talks about. Not enough anyway. Those expectations that he was automatically never going to deliver. You can't just wake up and be a 7-time champion like your dad. You don't see it anywhere else. He became a Hall of Famer, won over 25 races, which is still a great career. But he was never going to live up to the reputation of being Dale Sr.'s son, at least on a track performance. And he simply could have just said, I made my millions. I'm still making millions. People know who I am, and they'll never see me again. No. Dale, understand what got this sport to where it is, understands the popularity and the massive amount of listenership that he still brings, and brings that to the everyday fan on a daily basis, if not daily, a weekly basis. Whether it's being a broadcaster, being the most energetic broadcaster, you can tell the guy genuinely loves watching the sport. He's one of us. He's a fan. You can't say that about a lot of other people. Carl Edwards completely disappeared off the face of the planet. NASCAR needs these people to stick around. They're going to need a driver today to stick around, to carry the torch, because again, it's a family business. The France family, the Smith family, the Waltrips, the Allisons, the Pettys, the Elliots. It's all family. One generation to another. Dale Jr. has bridged the gap from his past, his present when he raced, and now the future in the way of media and how we consume this sport. Dale Jr. should be mentioned with the likes when it comes to carrying this sport with anybody else that's ever been a part of NASCAR. And he had to do it at a time where it really dipped after he left. Again, he could have walked away. Could have never heard of him again. He could have just wanted to raise a family and be a private guy. And a lot of people would completely understand that. Instead, he puts this sport on a pedestal that NASCAR itself will not do, has been unable to do, and I'm not sure understands how to do. Dale Jr. has been able to do that by himself. Obviously with some helps with the partnerships that he has and the way that he promotes said business ventures where it comes to iRacing or Dirty Mo Media. For a guy that I really could not watch and did not root for, I can't wait to listen to the next thing he says. I can't wait to see what take he has when it comes to Bristol and the tire wear, when it comes to more horsepower, because he's lived it, when it comes to what project he's going to unearth next. Is he going to be part of Rockingham? Is he going to be part of Bowman Gray Stadium? I don't know, but I feel like anything he touches more than likely will be for the best of us. We don't give enough respect to Dale Jr. There's a lot of people that loved him as a driver, but don't say enough about him after he's been off the track. And what he's done for NASCAR off the track at a time it needed it the most is probably way more important than he could have ever done trying to follow the footsteps of his dad. So Dale, I appreciate it. As someone who loves this sport, who genuinely cannot wait to see what news there are, watch another race, and be a part of it, and now venturing into something like iRacing, thank you. Thank you for showing the light. Thank you for allowing us to find different mediums to consume this sport where NASCAR itself has been able to do so. Dale Jr. is the modern day pioneer of NASCAR. Thank you guys for paying attention and listening. I hope you enjoyed this version of Let's Talk About It. We'll be here all week long, where we'll have a betting show at the end of the week. We have iRacing on Thursday with Travis and Joe. We're on Facebook, Patreon, and Rumble. We also will have a live show on probably tonight, Wednesday night. So thank you again. Hopefully you're doing well. And this has been Let's Talk About It with Ryan here at Stuck in the Catch Fence. We'll see you next time. God bless.